everyone. Welcome back. It's Friday today, and I'm working on commish once again. I had a pretty good uh, hour and a half yesterday working on this website, and at the very end of that time, I thought I would try to implement the PDF kit gem, which is the ability to take your HTML code and convert it directly over to a PDF file. So you could download it really, really nice. Now the issue that I came up to is it started to hang, meaning like it was loading, and I thought, well, maybe it's the virtual machine I'm working off of. Maybe that's hanging. Um, so I just didn't think much of it. And then I tried it on my MacBook, and it did it again there. And then I started thinking, and I looked into it quite a bit last night doing some research, and it turns out that you can't use the asset pipeline that Rails utilizes to bring in, JavaScript and CSS and things. You can't do any of that with this plugin. Well, not really this plugin, but the back end of it, the HTML to PDF, I think is WK-HTML to PDF. That piece of software does not like it when it hangs loading both at the same time. The asset pipeline and this conversion of the HTML file doing that at the same time, it doesn't like it. So I tried to figure out a way around that, and it turns out you can load in your own CSS. So I'm going to just show you some of the code. Let's see if I can get over here. So let's just quit out of here, and we'll go into, where would this be? The report controller. And I'll show you what I came up with. So I think at the end of last time, I'm just trying to remember what I actually did inside of the controller here. But essentially, what the gem does is it gives you a piece of middleware. I'll show you that actually. And right here is this middleware. So it gives you this. So all you have to do is append .pdf to the end of any URL, and it'll convert it over for you. The problem is with Rails, which it doesn't really talk about here, is if you just append PDF to the end of it, it's still using the layouts. And the layouts are going to try and fetch all these, CSS and JavaScript files using the asset pipeline, which is going to bung everything up. Now, I'm not 100% sure if it does it on production servers, because on production servers, a lot of that stuff is pre-compiled and cached, so it makes sense. But there is still the potential that this could cause an error. So I thought, well, it's a really, really, really cool feature, and there might be a way inside of the middleware to actually fix this as a bug. But I think that I'm just not going to use the middleware, and I'm going to generate the file using something like this, the usage stuff. So I went back and I rewrote saying format PDF. So if I request a PDF format of this page, of this action, then do this. So what I do is I go and get the company.html.erb file. That's the template I already have. And I assign the layout a PDF layout, and I generated a PDF layout. I'll show you here. So layouts PDF. Oh, I don't have it there. So that's because this has not been refreshed. So I'll just do this. App views layouts PDF. Okay, so I just generated this really quick layout file. All it is just the head with the title, the body, and then there's the page title thing that we utilize, and then the yield statement for passing in this company.html.erb template. And that's all it is. So the original application layout had all that stuff in the head for bringing in CSS, doing the SRF, CSRF or whatever tag, and all this kind of stuff. So we don't want any of that with the PDF because it makes it stop. It makes it so it doesn't work anymore. So I simplified that. The next thing that we do over here is once we get both of those, we render that to a string, which is a nice little render method that we have. Assign it to variable HTML. And then we use PDFKit to create a new PDF using this HTML string. And the page size we're going to do is letter. And then another thing we can do is attach a style sheet to that. So instead of having the style sheet load from the template file, what we want to do is have a direct path to a particular style sheet that we're going to feed into this PDF file. Like, so it's all, feeding itself standalone. It doesn't have to do anything with the asset pipeline. So once we do that, it'll style that sheet up, and then I use the standard send data, which is built in to this Rails framework, and we can send the kit.to PDF, which it converts this over to a PDF file that is sent over back to the user. And we can assign a file name. In this case, I'm doing the current user.name, which I'm going to adjust this because this may have spaces and stuff in it. And we just append .pdf to the end of that. And the type is application/PDF. All right, so that's sort of what's happening now. Let me go through and test to see if it's working here. So we have the company. So this will be the URL, report/company. So that's what we see on the screen. Now, if we want to download, we just download using the .pdf link there. So I'm just going to hit enter, and you'll see what happens. So then it pops up and says, okay, so we're sending back that PDF file. And the way that this is going to handle it is going to say, do you want to open it or save it? So we'll just open it using the default viewer with Ubuntu here. And we'll go over there, and there we go. We have this. I wonder if I can make this bigger. We have a nice PDF file generated for us. There you go. So this is using styles I just pass in the Bootstrap style sheet, and I just fed it right into there. So it grabbed a lot of the styles from there. There's some things here like this column doesn't line up exactly with that column, which I'm sort of wondering about. And I might want to have a feature that doesn't show the filter, but I didn't mind this because it would say the actual filtering dates. But this button doesn't need to be there. So there's things like that that could get annoying. So I'm going to find a way to probably just pass in a CSS file strictly for PDFs. And yeah, I think that's a good way of doing it. So I just wanted to show that that's sort of the way we did it. What I want to do though, okay, so just so everyone's aware, so this is the company one, and then we had the agent one, which is right here. The exact same thing. We just call format.pdf. So the format.html just passes back the normal HTML stuff, just like we usually would do. But we create another one called format.pdf, and that's where we can pass in this bit of instruction here on how to implement the PDF file. So all of that seems to be working. Good. So I'm going to go into here. This is the PDF kit gem right there. And I think I'm going to look in the issues because I did research this issue using like Google searches and stuff, and other people had it. Other people sort of said, well, it's hanging, what do we do, what do we do? So because of that, I think it should be addressed in the gem. So I'm just looking here. Single PDF file for multiple HTML pages. That would be cool features. So there's lots of features here, and this one's in progress. Provide option for streaming the PDF into IO object. Okay. So we don't have a feature. We have the Windows RSpec failures, whatever that means. No such file directory. Error code 1. IO error not opening for writing. Middleware thread safe. We started noticing some really strange problem with PDF requests that had been routing through middleware. To debug, we hacked the middleware call. Here's a good example that suggests setting instance variable to call. For thoroughness sake, here's another article from the thread shape rack. I can't speak of the rest of them. What are your thoughts on thread safety? It should be a priority if it's okay. So that's mainly about thread safety. That could be actually no. I was wondering if that could be a part of the issue of the hanging, but it's not. Stuck at loading pages. Let's just read this one quick. People have some trouble to generate my PDFs. Remember I tried to convert my page, it's stuck on loading pages on file. Before this happens, turn on popped up. Yeah, so this is stuck at loading pages. This is a terrible name for the issue, but yep. Had a similar. So instead of opening a brand new issue, I'm just going to use this one. Had a similar. Um, I feel I understand the problem. So it would hang. In my case, generating to PDF would hang. And nothing would happen. This sounds similar to your issue. To solve this, instead of saying solve, I found that the issue was caused by let's just see if that makes sense. I found that the issue was caused by the Rails asset pipeline, and while using the typical application layout template, which include the CSS and JavaScript asset, it would hang and nothing would happen. The solution would be to use full path. This is for CSS, JavaScript, and images. So you must be careful when using the middleware with a Rails application that is simply appending the .pdf to the end of a URL. Perhaps a fix for this issue would, for now, simply be a more clear explanation in the README file about not using the asset pipeline with PDF kit. Alright, let's fix all my explanation, README, middleware. PDF URL. There we go. Well, I just sort of said this. What I could do is do something in the README file, and then request a pull request to have it included. So let's just see some of these pull requests. There's 10 open. Wow. Accept style sheets via URL. Yeah, so a lot of these are action controller base helpers asset path. Yes, that's interesting. Interesting. Yeah, so I'll just leave that. But I made a comment back at that person's thing saying why it's hanging, the reason why I found it was hanging. So that's good enough for now. We can help update the README file. Probably, see, this is, it talks about it here for the style sheets, which I utilized, but yeah, in this Rails app, just to be aware that this doesn't work well with just a plain old the asset pipeline feeding into it. Single thread issue. For images, this is because the source request will get blocked. Ah, yes. This is it right here. Single thread issue. It's usually not an issue in production environment. To get around this issue, you may want to run a server with multiple workers like Passenger. To try and embed resources into HTML to avoid the extra HTTP. Yeah, see, this is it right here. Example solution, Rails bundler, add unicorn development environment, and then run bundle. Next, add the config unicorn, then run unicorn. Yeah. So that's using unicorn. I wonder how many I'm running in here. Just seeing if I can see when I started this server. There we go. Workers, min threads, max thread. So 5. It still is hanging up. I don't know. Wants us to use unicorn, but whatever. So that's that. I solved the issue. I wrote a little thing in there saying that's probably what someone else's issue had. And it is in the README file, so I don't need to actually update that and send it in for a pull request to sort of help them out. Don't need to do that. What I do need to do is put a button here that says download PDF report. So let's go do that. So in the reports, whoops, that's not what I want. So in the reports, what would it be? Report. So we'll say view, views, reports, reporting table. No, we want, we'll say company. So in here we have the content for page title, and what we can do is actually do another content for the adding the button. So we'll do that here. Content for, and I'm going to jump over views, layouts, application, and just double check. So this is called, so we got the page title, add button. So this is going to be content for add button, do, and then end this. There we go. And now I'm going to add, let's see. So it's going to be a link to so what do we do here? Download PDF report, and that is the report company path. Let's see. We'll do format. PDF, I'm pretty sure I can do it like that. And then we'll do class button and button default. Then we'll close this off. And we'll test that. So this format should append PDF to the back of this. So we'll see if that actually does work. Just going off memory of course there, which most of the stuff you end up going off memory. We'll look it up if it doesn't work. So we don't have an error, but we just want to make sure that the actual format of this thing is correct. So download the PDF report. It's going to inspect. Oh, I don't need to inspect. What am I doing? I can just look down there. It doesn't look right. Let's just see one more time. It might actually still work. It just doesn't have the PDF on the back end of it. Download PDF report, format PDF. Okay, so it has the format it's going to pass through. So let's just double check, see if it works here. So I clicked it. Nothing. Let's just check the logs here. Nope. I'm going to run a search because Rails link to append dot PDF to URL. Oh, you do it inside the URL. I just did it in the wrong spot. Close, man. My memory is not quite there, but I was close, so I'll give myself a C minus for that. All right, let's get up here. Oh, I'm at the back end. Okay, so I don't need to do this, so I'm going to replace this with that, and then add in one here. So there, I'm adding the format to the URL. Save it. Now I will refresh. Very close. So look at it. Yep, there it goes. So it's report. So I can just click there, and it will load, and then I'll download the file. So I'll just open it with the viewer, just to double check. And there it is. Beautiful. Okay, so that's that one. If I go to an agent and the report, I just have to do this one. So head back over to the file here, and this will be the report/agent. So we have, let's go ahead and drop that down, save that, and sorry, I was just looking at some other part there, so I'm just going to yank this over there and paste this here. All right, so download PDF report agent path, x, agent path. Good, that's all we have to do there. And that should work, so I'm just gonna test that. So here's the agent report with download PDF report. We'll open it up and it should just be the one page. There it is. Just the one page. Perfect. All right, so another thing I'm going to do is work on the look of that PDF. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to come over here, and I believe I have a PDF CSS. So I have app, assets, whoops. I have style sheets, and do I have a PDF? No. So I'll just create it, pdf.css. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to save that. Oh shoot, I quit not save. So I'll do that again. Okay, so we're going to do E app assets style sheets pdf.css. Write that. Okay. Now over here we're going to open up the, I guess it would be let's see here. Let's open up the report, views, report, reporting table. Okay, so it looks like none of this stuff, okay, the table and the table condensed. So I'm going to utilize okay, so table layout fixed, width is 100%. Okay, so let's go ahead and so we're going back and forth here a little bit, but report controller, and I'm going to change this now that we have one to PDF instead of using the bootstrap one because that's got everything in it. We don't need all that stuff. Okay, so that's going to do that. Now we can jump over here and start doing some CSS stuff. So we got table as a standard table. So we're going to have it as width is going to be 100%. And then we are going to do, what was it, table layout fixed? Let's just double check that. Table layout fixed, which I like. Let's go back here. So table layout fixed. There, so that's all we have so far. So we're going to download the PDF. And just see what it looks like because we got rid of all the styling and the only thing we have is the table width stuff done. Let's see now. See how ugly this looks now? Okay, so it looks like here what's happening is so the table width is 100%, which is great. But this is looking like it's this is shooting over to the right. This is center. Oh no, this is both center. This is yeah, something's gone on fishy here, so we're gonna have to check that out. So now that it's accessing that, I'm going to go back over here and go to the views here and see what's going on. So we got a table condensed. It's got call span 2. Okay. So those are all the so what I think is happening here is we're not doing the same thing here. No, we're not. That's what's going on. So we could simply do, so I'm just going to yank that down to here, paste that in. So now we're going to do two columns for each of these first ones. So essentially it's a 3-column table. Alrighty. So did all that. Okay. Do it to this one too. So it's actually a pretty easy fix to make that look good. And we have another one here. This one only gets printed on some of them, but it still needs it. So we have pricing column, which aligns everything to the right, but I think everything was already aligned to the right. So I'm just going to save that, and that simple change will make everything line up a bit better. So I'm going to do this once again and get rid of this. All right, let's see how this lines up now. Okay, so yep, all these numbers are lining up. What I might want to do is have this be left justified to say type and then amount. Or this should say description, not type, right? So let's go back here and see. Yeah, I think description is a better way of putting that. Description. All right, go up here. Um, good. So there, and then, whoops, that's not what I want. Description. So I think it's just a matter of resetting what price column is to get those right justifications done. So what I should be doing here is text column will be to the left and price column will be to the right. So I'm going to do class text column. Okay, so I'm going to go over here, yank that, paste. I'll put it on all of them. These ones are already, the TDs are already left justifying, so it's not a big deal, but I'll put it on there anyways. And this won't affect the other template at all, the actual HTML one, which this is the HTML one, but it won't affect the display in the browser, so it'll all be still good. So after I'm done this, I'm just going to add the 2 other CSS classes, then I'll test it again. This is nice because I can now edit the look of the different things. I can edit the look of it in the browser versus the look of it in the PDF file separately, which is essentially what you should be doing. Just adding the PDF middleware and using all the same stuff. Technically, we could have got it to work on the production server, but do you really want that? Do you really want to have those two tied together? I don't think so. I think for this file we're going to be creating right here is so small that it's very easy to create, and it gives you full control over the 2 different types of views. So the text column, we're going to have that text align left, and for now that's all. And then this is going to be the price column. So text align right. So there we go. So we have all of that now. We have the table being the full width of the page. We have the text columns aligning left, price columns aligning right, which is exactly what we want. We have the full call spans too on all the proper stuff. So let's go over here and download the PDF one more time, see what it looks like. Perfect, see? Now we have the deductions table, which I might actually jazz up a little bit. We have all of that. We have the amounts justifying right, perfect. We have the, that's good. I might put a line, we have all this going left. I might want to put a line underneath this one. and just as like the totals. And then I might want to put a full line break under between all of these. So let's go ahead. See this one. This one has the lines there. In the PDF, it does not do that. It doesn't put those lines there. So what I'm going to do is add a class to here. Whoops. Okay. So this is saved. I'm going to go over here. And right before the total, so that's this one, I'm going to add a class called PDF line, bottom line. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. I'm hoping that it will add a border to the bottom of them. So let's just go over here. Whoops. Do that. So we just need to go and find the bottoms right here. Right there. Right there. And that's it. Okay, so I'm going to head over here and I'm going to create another one that says, what was this one again? PDF bottom line. So let's do the border 1 pixel, solid black. Okay. And another thing I'm going to do while I'm here is actually that's in another whole other template. So we'll just keep going on this one template before we move on to another one. So I'm just going to see if that worked there. Oh no, the horizontal line I want to do, I can do that from within here. So we'll test that at the same time. So we have the so anytime it says call small 6, I'm also going to add one thing would be PDF horizontal rule, and then in here I can do dot PDF horizontal rule, and let's do a few things. Let's do padding bottom will be 20 pixels. Let's do border bottom. Let's do that 2 pixels solid black. And that reminds me up here, we gotta do that, and we gotta do bottom. Because we don't want it to be, whoops. Okay, so we want it to be bottom. And then here, let's do margin bottom 20 pixels. Let's just see what this looks like. So I've only done the top one, we'll just test it and then we'll add it to the rest. Create the PDF and see what happens. Open. Doesn't look like it did what we wanted to do. No, it didn't. So it doesn't like the border. It doesn't like doing borders, I guess. It did this HR though. Hmm. That's weird. Doesn't like doing the border. So if I do this though, we'll like that. So it didn't like those borders. Something you learn. So this is it right here. Just checking though. Didn't really space, no, it didn't space them out at all either. Just gonna erase that, what I just did, so it's not there polluting this. Okay, I'm just going to put that HR in there. Yeah. I think that's good. It just adds that line right there. Yeah, I think that'll do it. So let's add that to all of them and close this one. Close this one. Okay, so this one has an HR down there. Oh, it doesn't. Yeah, so do it right after the table. So I will do that. HR. And I'm also going to check it doesn't look too bad with okay, now I'll check if it doesn't look too bad with this. Refresh. So it will affect now. I can make it hidden in the PDF, but or I can make it hidden in this and have it show up in the PDF. But we'll see. The only other thing I can do is just take this filter away. Yeah, that doesn't look terrible, these lines. I wonder if I should. No, that's fine. Just having everything line up here. I wonder if this would work better. TR, TR. Just because at the top here there's 4 rows, and this is only 3 rows. The other two only have 3 rows as well, so they'll line up. Just checking here. No, it doesn't seem like that does anything. Oh, it did do something, because this is completely... It's completely off. I totally did something weird there. Um, what did I do there? Let's see. Weird. Maybe it is expecting some TD call span to and TD, TD, and TD. Maybe it's expecting that for it to actually work. That's very odd. One thing I'm going to do just at the very top of here is take out this horizontal rule. I don't need that in there anymore. Didn't work. And retest this. Then there's minor things like you can go through and fix up someone that's displaying someone's name. This is the capital letter, the first letter is capital. We'll do some minor things like that. But for now, I think we've got all the PDF stuff working. No, it's almost there, but it's not quite. I'm going to need, yeah, this is, I wonder why. Oh, there it is right there. Might add a min height to these things. Min height 30.5. Yeah, I'll do min height 30.5. Just debating. Yep, I think that's good. So what I'm going to do is, what was the last one I did here? Okay, so I need the layouts report. Oh, I don't want layouts. I want views report company. And okay, so hidden print is the one I'm looking for. So this is, all I have to do is just do dot hidden print. And I just say display none. Okay, now that should hide the shared dates thing. I do want to do two things. I want to show the start and end date, which so I can do this. Filtered dates. So I can probably access the params from here. So I can do params. Whoops, I don't need the P there. So the params start date to, I'll just do the dash thing there. Params end date. and then close off the P there. Alright, so what this is going to do is give me a way to see what the dates are in the PDF file. Yeah, so the hidden, that will work there. I think this should work. Whoops. Write that, go over to Views, Reports, Agent, and stick that in right here, as well as span, class, hidden print, and then end span there. Okay. If I go back here and just test to see if this works. This was the last thing I had to do before I download the PDF form. And check that. So it looks like the params are there. Oh, nope, they're not. Filtered dates. So this just needs to stay if params start date there we go, and then I will go like this. If okay, so that's done. Let's go into the style application CSS, and then the TR so body TR, I'm going to go min height is 30 pixels. I'll say 30. Boom. And that was it. Wait for this to load. So this should not be there if there's no start date. Load. No, that didn't work. That minimum height. We'll figure something out there. But anyways, so that disappeared because that's not there. Just gonna test it though. See if it shows up. Perfect. This might be a bit confusing, that dash, because there's a whole bunch of dashes, but that can be changed later. Now if I create the PDF, this should show up, and this should be gone. That should be missing. So I'll open it. Nope, did not work. Here at the HR, so I wonder why this. That is weird. Oh, look what's happening here. Look at, that's an issue. So this isn't generating the PDF with with these parameters. Hmm. I wonder now if .pdf. Okay, it does there. So it didn't clear this out, which I thought it might have. That sort of sucks, because display none must not be a thing. We must have to do something different there. But this worked. Okay, so it all worked. So we need to find a way to pass the params up from here into this thing, which we could probably do with simply doing where am I doing that again? That link is in the views report company. Start date. Oh, I need to put a comma. Params start date. All right, so that could work. And then save that. Let's just see if that solved that issue. So we have a start date and an end date. So that means that that should go. Okay, so that's there. Start date, end date are there. I can click on that, and it should be all zeros with all of that. Filters, it's got the dates, all zeros, perfect. So that works now. If I were to clear the dates, this is just the normal report with a gross of 7 grand. Boom, worked. The only thing that doesn't work is this, but I'm going to do some research on how to get those things to not show up in the PDF version. But for now, I have to sign off. We got, essentially we could leave it as is. Like, it's not a big deal if that form's there or not. It really isn't. But I'm going to try and get it not to show up, which should be quite simple. I just got to do a little bit of Googling. And other than that, everything is working. So we got every feature I wanted to do this week is done and working, and I'm quite happy. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you later.